It is 10:30 Eastern Time here. And I'd like to welcome everyone to a free live online GRE and GMAT webinar. We'll give folks a couple minutes to arrive. And hello. It is now 9:35, so I'm going to go ahead and get here. Anyhow, my name is Stefan, and I am tutoring, and I'm going to talk today about the online GRE and GMAT temporarily instituted while many communities worldwide are under stay-at-home quarantine orders because of the current COVID-19 epidemic. So we will begin by taking a look at the online GRE. So the online GRE began on March 27 as an option and currently accepting registration. That obviously may expand or contract depending on circumstances beyond EDS's control, but it is expected that it will be at least available to test takers. It is live proctored with 24/7 availability, but only Friday through Monday. So it's a weird kind of weekend plus the last 2 days of the work week availability that they're currently offering, and that means you cannot take the exam Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at this time. And they are contracting with a third-party provider, Proctor VUE, to provide the live observation from a proctor for every test taker. When the proctor logs in, they're able to watch you through your webcam, and they also have access to your desktop remotely, similar to what you might experience if you are working with your IT and they take access from your of your desktop remotely for a sort of like appointment situation where they're doing updates or something like that. You'll always be able to see what the proctor is doing on your laptop, but they have full control to ensure that you're not running additional applications in the background that might jeopardize the integrity. The temporary online GRE is identical in format to the standard in-person GRE. There are no differences. It is the same. Start with the essays as part of the analytical writing, and then 5 quantitative and verbal sections alternating in any order, with one of those sections being unscored and experimental. They also include the 10-minute break after the third section, so after your second of the quantitative or verbal multiple choice sections. It's still there. You can still actually leave the room and come back within 10 minutes. Now, the one big difference with the online GRE is that you have to use a whiteboard, and either a whiteboard or some sort of erasable transparency sheet along with one of these delightful dry erase markers, so that you can show your proctor you are not removing notes from the testing environment. So that is the one major difference on the GRE just functionally. You won't be able to use pencil and paper or pen and paper. You have to use this erasable pen, and you'll have to provide your own erasable transparency sheets or whiteboard that you can illustrate to your proctor has been erased as part of your exit from the testing environment. Now, the GMAT, however, is a bit different. So the GMAT came online later than GRE in response to the pandemic. They started up on April 20th and are currently offering registration through to June 15th. And this is live proctored with 24/7 availability regardless of the date, so it's not limited like the GRE is, from Pearson VUE. So Pearson has a similar interface to what Proctor VUE uses, but they are a bit more, we'll say, prepared to work with the GMAT, because the GMAT uses Pearson for some other in-person administrations, and Pearson is the primary purveyor of in-person live proctoring. So Pearson is experienced, and while there are similarities with Proctor VUE, I would say that Pearson is the leader in testing administration. So they're a bit more prepared for situations like this, and they've got a great system in place. Then, right now, for the GMAT online, there's only one opportunity to take it per person. So you get to take the online GMAT once, that's it. You don't get to take it again. And that is, at least currently, obviously everything is very fluid in the current environment. So, but right now, with the administrations from April 20 to June 15, you sign up once, that's all you get for the online GMAT. And the online GMAT, you do not get an unofficial score. The score is officially reported, and it can take up to 14 days. The MBA.com and the GMAC are saying specifically that it should be closer to 7, but it can take up to 14 days per the actual interface for you to get your score for the online GMAT. And now, to talk about some differences between the standard GMAT and the online GMAT, because unlike the GRE, where ETS is not even announcing to schools when you submit the online GRE that it is an online GRE, the GMAT is saying it's an online GMAT, it's a special occasion, and there are some market differences. So the standard GMAT allows you to have a flexible section order, and it includes an essay. So you can change the order. There are 3 different options. You can start with your essay and then the integrated reasoning, quant, and then verbal. You can do quant, verbal, IR, essay. You can do verbal, quant, IR, essay. But the online version is a static order. You have to go quant, verbal, and then there's an optional integrated reasoning section. So the reason for this is that unlike the GRE, the GMAT is not allowing a break for test takers to leave the testing room between the quantitative and the verbal. There is a 5-minute optional break between the verbal and the IR, but between the quantitative and the verbal, the GMAT basically said we're not going to take the chance that people are in some way violating the exam during that break time. Now, with the standard GMAT, obviously you can take physical notes. You've got that yellow white pad that's actually not too dissimilar from what you'd have to do on online GRE now, with a dry erase marker that can be erased. But for the online GMAT, you are not allowed physical notes, and you have to use their online whiteboard. They are not allowing test takers for the online GMAT to take physical notes, again, in the interest of exam security. We talked about for the GRE, you get the unofficial score and you're able to cancel. Well, for the for the standard GMAT, you're able to do that as well. You can take the unofficial score at the end. You can decide if you want to keep that score or not. However, for the online GMAT, there are no cancellations. So you get what you get and you have to accept it. And there's no unofficial score nor ESR available. So you will not get anything except for your official score for the online GMAT. But again, it is being presented to admissions officers as an online GMAT, so you can, to some degree, explain the differentiation if necessary in score. So that's a rough overall overview of the GRE and GMAT exams online. Got a couple of links here that are great resources for folks who just want to keep up to date. We are constantly updating these 2 websites with any news that comes from the GRE, ETS, or the GMAT, fda.com/GC. And right now, I can open up the floor to any questions if anyone has something specific that they'd like to ask, either over the phone or via the chat box. Well, it appears that we've got a quiet group this morning. Uh, if anything does come up, you see the email on this slide that you can use to direct any specific questions my way, and anyone else at MyGuru. We all get the info email there. And I wish everyone the best as they work on their GRE or GMAT online exams here in the next month and a half or so.